Okay, so let's talk about sleep disruptors. So I'm not going to go down the whole laundry list of many items that disrupt your sleep because we could talk about that for about 2 hours. But what we are going to talk about are a few things that are kind of trendy. And the first one is THC gummies. I know those are available. People get them. They use them to help them get to sleep, right? The problem with that is THC does not allow the body to get into deep REM sleep, which is where you dream, which is where your body recovers and regenerates and processes memories or events from the day. And that's reduced by about 10 to 15%. Now you add that up over time, and that can lead towards cognitive or memory issues. So I would say a big no on THC. Now CBD is a whole different thing. And there's different types of cannabinoids. Again, I'm not going to go down that whole bunny trail. You could take like melatonin. If you get scary dreams from melatonin, okay, use something else. Try valerian or try hops and passionflower and L-theanine and GABA. Some people do good on 5-HTP unless you're on an antidepressant. So there are other tools in the toolkit besides using THC. So people think it's very easy and it's beneficial, but there's negative consequences. Same thing with like Valium or diazepam. Those are pharmaceutical medicines that force you to sleep. Again, very similar mechanism is they don't allow you to get into that deep REM sleep, which is where your body processes your memories for the day or events during the day and kind of creates new cognitive pathways. So it's almost like a cleansing pattern time. And then that leads to memory loss, impairment, cognitive decline. So we want to avoid that when it comes to longevity. There are certain situations, this is not medical advice, but there are certain situations where you might need those. There might be a very traumatic experience that happened in your life that's just unavoidable. So it's not that you can't ever have it, but I would not be dependent on it. And I would never use it. But where I'm going with that is, if you're taking it, you really might want to consider what it's doing to you long term. Next item, unresolved infections that are causing sleep disruptions. So those would be in the big category of pathogens. That could be bacteria, parasites, fungus, and so forth. And that could come from mosquito bites, that could come from traveling, that could come from your dog, that can come from fleas, that could come from a whole host of things, or viruses you picked up going out to work or going to the grocery store that you didn't realize disrupt your sleep. So if you've done a lot of different things and you're still having sleep issues, I would get your pathogens tested. You can go into foodbeautiful.com, schedule an initial biofeedback session if you've never seen me before, and test what pathogens are problematic and start tackling them. Of course, if you have other sleep issues, we can look at those things and tackle those and create some sufficiencies of nutrients to help meet that sleep need. Next sleep disruptor, napping in relationship to insomnia. So if you have insomnia, which means you wake up for a couple hours at night and you have a hard time going back to sleep, that's considered insomnia. Or if you have a hard time getting to sleep for a couple hours, that would be considered insomnia. So what you don't want to do if you're that type of person is nap. A lot of people will want to nap, but the number one scientific thing for insomnia is to not nap. And so what it would look like is trying to get your circadian rhythms back in good order. And then once your sleep quality is good, yeah, you could nap for a little bit of time. But if you have insomnia right now, I would not be napping. Next, sleep disruptor. Big one we just talked about earlier, EMFs. Cell phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, smart devices, those all emit signals that are very counterintuitive for our organic waveforms in our body. And they will suppress melatonin. They will cause calcium influx. They will create oxidative damage in the body, which means pathogens start developing and growing rapidly or more aggressively than they should, which means that could make you more wakeful. So tips that you can use: turning off your Wi-Fi or have a timer that turns your Wi-Fi off. On your phone, you just turn your airplane mode on. You keep it maybe 4 or 5 feet away from you. You can still have it in your room, but just keep it at a distance from you. And then using red light or incandescent lighting in your room at nighttime and turning the dial down as it begins to get darker outside. If you enjoyed the video today and you need more specialized care, you can go into the notes below and click on Food Beautiful and schedule an individual appointment with myself, Sarah King Feldman. I've been doing this for 20 plus years, helping people solve complicated health issues. So everyone's body's a little bit different, but if we spend a little bit of time focusing on what your body needs, we can create and carve out the perfect life for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.